Yesterday, this guy, also known as David Ornstein, a well-established Arsenal correspondent on NBC, talked about Joao Felix and said that Arsenal want the player and are one of the few clubs financially capable of pulling it off. Yes, people, Wife Boy, and today we are talking about Joao Felix in this edition of Arsenal Transfer News. Can this transfer happen? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on whether you would like Joao Felix to come to Arsenal, and if not, who would you like instead? This kind of took me by surprise. I've discussed Joao Felix in previous videos here on this channel, but I've always just said it kind of because it's been around there floating, but never really thought it'd actually be possible happening, to be honest. Joao Felix, we all know that he's at Atletico Madrid. He's not really happy that he's there, but he's under contract there. He got signed a few seasons ago for a record-breaking Atletico Madrid fee of around that £100 million. Why would they get rid of him for so cheap? I always just believed it would be such a massive sum of money. However, reports have come out that Atletico Madrid are willing to part with him due to his unhappiness for a loan fee of a package around the mark of 22 to 23 million euros. That is a fraction of what they first paid for the man. And now it's no surprise that certain clubs, the likes of the Arsenals, the Chelseas, the Man Uniteds, are floating around trying to potentially get Joao Felix. Now, from what David Ornstein said, who is a well-established Arsenal correspondent, he said that Arsenal do want the player. This first surprised me. We always have been looking at Mudryk, it seemed. He was the same reporter that came out and said Mudryk is Arsenal's #1 target. And if you've been keeping up with this channel, you know that Arsenal put in a bid for Mudryk the other day, but it did get rejected by Shakhtar Donetsk. The whole bid was around 60 million euros, but did include 2/3 of that fee up front and then a third of it coming in through the add-ons and performance-based incentives. So why would we go for Felix? We've already targeted Mykhailo Mudryk. Maybe it's just naive from me. I just always assumed that Arsenal would get one or the other. I did a video on my channel the other day talking about how would you rather Arsenal sign Mudryk or Joao Felix. I just never kind of fathomed the opportunity of Arsenal signing both players. Just from the past, I've always seen Arsenal. We know we need an attacker and a winger, but we'll only address one of the two positions. But is that a change in favour for Arsenal? Financially capable of pulling it off is a whole nother thing. Are we learning from our mistakes? We know that during the World Cup, Mikel Arteta met with Josh and Stan Kroenke over in Los Angeles and talked through potential signings and activity for the window. This is massive. We know that last January transfer window, Arsenal bottled it. We were in for the top four. We were favourites basically at that point, and we signed absolutely nobody. No one came into our squad that exact January. Who did sign people? Tottenham Hotspur signed Bentancur and Kulusevski. And what do you know? By the end of May, they were the team that got into the top four and are now playing Champions League football this season, whereas we are stuck with Europa League football. We cannot bottle it again. Arteta went over and he spoke to them, and I'm sure that January targets was one of the main points of conversation. We know also that Arteta is heaping pressure on the board. This is given the fact that he said on numerous press conferences that Arsenal need to make additions and need to be active in this January transfer window early. He's telling the squad we need additions quickly. We also do know, and this was surprising, I did not expect this, that both Josh, and not only Josh, his dad Stan Kroenke, were in the ground to watch Arsenal beat West Ham United 3-1. I've never seen Stan Kroenke at the Emirates. I'm guessing he's gone in the past, but definitely not in recent seasons. We know Josh is in and around the club. We've all watched All or Nothing documentary. Know Josh is heavily involved. But the fact his father has come over, Stan Kroenke, to see this Arsenal team, that's a big sign that he might be looking to integrate himself more with the squad. Now, he could be some kind of like a glory hunter, given that we're actually playing good now and actually look like we're competing for something. But it is what it is. Look, he's our owner. Josh, he does not have the checkbook. His dad does. So we need him to be integrated with the squad and see what's happening. Arteta is showing them, look, last season we bottled it going for top four. This time we're 5 points clear and we're going for a Premier League title. The stakes are even higher. We could not bottle this January transfer window. We need to make signings. So that covers the fact of like the financially capable doing so. We've brought over the owner. We're telling him to look at what we need to improve on. Let's get it done. But the fact we're going for Mudryk and Joao Felix, that's a massive step towards that. We are looking at signing two top attacking talents. I was looking at the other day and saying, what is the difference between Arsenal and Manchester City? We've both got decent enough squads. I think we can all agree City's got a better squad than Arsenal. But the real difference are the match winners. The City having the Haalands and De Bruyne that can win you games. I look at Arsenal, and although we do have these great players, the Martinellis, the Sakas, we don't have a match winner, especially one we can bring off the bench. Our bench looked weak. especially against West Ham United. We've got defensive options off the bench. The likes of Zinchenko's can come in. Tomiyasu's when he's back fit can come in. But our attacking options off the bench, even at full strength, is weak. There's not many game changers we can bring off the bench. Signing Joao Felix and Mudryk brings two players that are definitely fringe starting players straight into the fold and can come off the bench or even start games and impact this Arsenal team, which is what we need. The game's going to be coming thick and fast with the Europa League coming back to action, meaning that we will be playing 2 to 3 games a week. We need our full squad. There's no two ways about it. And that is discounting any injuries as well, which are definitely going to happen along the way. We cannot afford to have this thinner squad. So I like the fact that we are bulking up our squad early this transfer window and targeting these key players of Mudryk and Joao Felix. I think the fact that Liverpool signed Cody Gakpo before the January transfer window has even opened has kind of burst this whole transfer window into life now. Normally it's a bit cagey until someone makes the first big signing. This first big signing has already happened without the window properly even opening. So I think we're going to see lots of activity start to take place now. A lot of teams using that Gakpo deal off the back of that to try and make their own deals. Liverpool kind of sparked the light in this whole transfer window. I think Arsenal are going to follow it on by trying to make some key signings now and try to strengthen some key areas by bringing in 2 quality attacking additions earlier in the transfer window. We haven't quite heard talk on any parts of our squad other than attacking options, which I think is a bit strange. I think we all know that we are looking for another centre midfielder. I think all Arsenal fans can agree on that. And potentially another left-sided centre-back, given that Holding, Saliba and Gabriel are our only recognised proper centre-backs, really, first teamers in the squad. I think we will need one more, especially if one of those get injured. But it's good signs that Arsenal are already looking at options, and we're looking at expensive attacking options as we're going to be active this transfer window. Overall, if Arsenal do manage to pull off Joao Felix and Mudryk, it will be a brilliant start, and it seems we're targeting both simultaneously, but our attentions are mostly on Mudryk, who we put in our first bid for, and I'm expecting a second bid to come through in the following days. As always, make sure if you're new around here to subscribe down below for daily Arsenal transfer news, and also let me know in the comment section down below whether you would prefer Arsenal to sign Joao Felix or Mudryk, or if you believe we can pull off both. I've been Wi-Fi, but I'll see you all in my next video.